Welcome. My name is Allison Dorr, and I will be presenting my Community Analysis and Intervention assignment for Social Work 6302 at The Ohio State University. To begin, I feel like it's important to note why we're here today. We'll begin with an overview of my chosen community and then its specific sub-arena. We will discuss why this community is in need and how we can help them. I want to touch on their strengths as a community and how we can use those to create an intervention that will benefit the people who live in this community. We will discuss the chosen intervention plan and logic model. We will also touch on what is needed from stakeholders and how others can help if they feel so inclined. Let's begin. Hilliard, Ohio was founded in 1852 by John Reed Hilliard, who bought land in the area and named it Hilliard Station. By 1869, the population had grown to 280 residents, and growth only continued when the railroad was built in 1886. The village of Hilliard officially turned into a city in 1960 when the population grew to 5,633 people, and with the addition of the 270 outer belt in the 1980s, the city had a boom in growth. According to the 2020 census, Hilliard now boasts 37,115 residents, with 86.8% of them being white. 26% of the city includes residents who are under the age of 18, which includes our target demographic. The area has 51.8% female residents, and the median value of homes sold is roughly $254,700. The image on the left shows the breakdown of age, race, and sex of those living in Hilliard in July 2021. The image on the right shows where its 13 different elementary schools are located and where the attendance boundaries are for each school. The district also boasts 2 sixth grade buildings, 3 middle schools, and 3 high schools. The district has grown exponentially, and it's time they grow with the demand for additional care of these students. Within most communities, there are many children who need to attend school, and they have families who are worried about their safety before class begins and when it ends. The city of Hilliard, Ohio is one in which I have lived and worked for many years. The school district has a program that cares for kindergarten through 6th graders before and after school called SAC. There has traditionally been tension between the taxpayers over the years because they're paying higher taxes to help benefit the schools. Passing tax levies has always been an issue, and taxpayers who own land within the area are not interested in giving additional money each year. When there are budget cuts, one of the first things to go is the funding for the before and after school programs offered to the kids of Hilliard City Schools. My best friend's daughter, Ava, pictured on the right, getting ready for her first day of 3rd grade, has been on the wait list for the program for over a year. My friend is a single mom who agreed to share her experience with me for this assignment. She stated, "It has been hard to find before and after school care for my daughter. I either have to rely on my parents or friends to pick her up and take her to school if my job cannot be flexible with my hours. When I contact the school, they tell me there's nothing they can do besides continue to wait for her to be admitted into their program. Don't they have a duty to serve the children within their district?" That's something that I'm wondering about as well. The current delivery system is that each school, depending on their size, takes a number of applications per year to admit into the SAC program. SAC stands for School Age Childcare. A specific number of those applications can be for students whose families need financial assistance, and the program can even be free of cost if it's determined that is what's best for the family. As students drop out from the program, families from the waitlist can be admitted. In some cases, a family can wait until the following school year to be admitted into the program. For those families on the wait list, what other options do they have? When reading about the history of after-school programs, I learned about the After School Corporation, PASC. PASC began in 1998 with a challenge grant from philanthropist George Soros' Open Society Institute, OSI, in response to changing social patterns. More and more parents juggle work and the demands of managing a single-parent household. This program found a need within their city and decided to form a program that would hold public schools accountable. The data shows that Hilliard's population is growing, as is the number of students within their district. They illustrate their need for more space on their website for SAC. On it, they show that each SAC program for all 13 of the elementary schools and the 2 6th grade buildings are full, as well as their wait lists. Doesn't this illustrate the need the district has? Although all of Hilliard City School District needs reform when it comes to their before and after school care, I decided to focus in on one school in the district specifically. Beacon Elementary is listed as a Title I school, which means they receive funding to assist the educational needs of students living near or at the poverty level. It's important to note that not all Hilliard schools receive Title I funds, but this chosen school does, as this demonstrates additional services are needed for this population. So, Beacon is home to 436 students, with roughly 66% of them being white, 16% Hispanic, 9% Black, 6% Asian, and 1% American Indian. It's reported that 32% of the school's population is eligible for free lunch, and 6% are eligible for reduced lunch. These statistics are taken from the NCES website, continue to show a need within this community. If 38% of students who attend this school are eligible for free or reduced lunches, we can conclude that the need for additional services is very likely. Hilliard, Ohio is a relatively middle-class city comprised of pockets where its inhabitants are upper middle class and others who are lower middle class. The area in which Beacon is located happens to house residents who qualify as lower middle class. The diversity, both with ethnicity and socioeconomically, can be seen as an asset and a need. When there are more diverse people living and attending school together, the children are able to grow up with more of an understanding about their neighbors. It also presents a need because this community has been proven to be struggling financially, and the district does not seem to be meeting the needs of the children they serve. There are many reasons as to why Beacon Elementary is experiencing a shortage of before and after school care for their students. One reason may be that since the building is one of the oldest in the district, there could be an issue when it comes to space and having enough room to house a large number of children when waiting for school to begin or end. There could also be financial issues when it comes to hiring additional staff members to look after the children. Since they have a greater number of low-income children living within their school limits, they may also have higher demand than other schools. Outside services such as daycare can be very hard to afford, so families may look to the school to help them. There are 2 churches within less than a mile of Beacon, Hilliard Presbyterian Church and Hilliard Church of the Nazarene. Neither of these locations offer childcare services. There are 2 daycare facilities a little over a mile from the school, and their information is as follows. Kids R Us is located at 4625 Cemetery Road in Hilliard, Ohio. As noted on their website, they offer before and after school care for school-aged children, as well as homework assistance, nutritious meals, school transportation, and summer camp. They do not know if they take Title 20 and do not list prices per week for their services, but urge parents to contact them for more information. Agape Academy, which is located at 4519 Cemetery Road, also in Hilliard, Ohio. They note on their website they offer school-age services for children ages 5 to 12 and have programs in the summer, as well as homework help during the school year, and enrichment activities to encourage their continued education in math, science, reading, music, and movement. The website does list that their going rate is $150 a week for full-time during the school year and $170 for part-time during the school year. They also note that they do accept Title 20 for all age groups, which might be especially helpful for the families that attend Beacon. Many YMCA locations in the Columbus area provide before and after school care. The Hilliard location is 3.7 miles away from the school and does not offer childcare. Also, the school is located off of a busy street, thus making the possibility of students walking to and from childcare not possible. There's also only a partial sidewalk constructed down the main road, making the trek to and from school unsafe. So, what is the intervention plan? Social work students at Ohio State University will apply for a community helpers grant and use the funds acquired to pay for the supplies and food needed to support children in a before and after school setting. The students eligible for the program will attend Beacon Elementary. Their parents will drop them off and pick them up from the Hilliard location of the Columbus Metropolitan Library, which is located 1.9 miles away from the school. This location is preferred because it's a new building and has large spaces to hold the children. It's also not far from their home school, so parents do not have to go out of their way for drop-offs and pickup. The students will then take a Hilliard City School District bus to school and will ride it to the library after school lets out. Community volunteers will be essential when helping this program get off its feet. The district will provide a list of approved volunteers that the social work students will call and ask if they're interested in helping and what their availability will look like. The social work students will put together a schedule and will distribute it to all volunteers on a monthly basis. The chosen elementary school has many assets, but is also supported by the district as a whole, which is important to note. It was decided that an eco-map design would be most appropriate to show the community relationship among the school and those that will be providing support for the intervention. The eco-map on your screen shows the school of focus, Beacon Elementary, surrounded by the identified assets among the community in which the school is located. Each line that connects the school to the asset shows the strength of the relationship. This was important to note because when assessing a community's strengths, it's essential that the viewer easily understand the gaps in linkage, and the lines will signify which support is greatest. For example, the lines connecting Beacon Elementary to the families of the students who attend the school and the funding are the thickest lines because they are essential for the intervention to take place. The support from the SAC program, OSU social work students, community volunteers, and the library are a strong support as well. The YMCA and Kids R Us are included because they could have been supports, but since they're not options for the family, they're connected with a dotted line because their support is not a strength to this community at this time. Although there was not many empirical sources on before and after school programs proving to be beneficial in the United States, there were many references that detailed the importance of student teachers volunteering in these types of programs to see the impact they can have on a child's experience before they begin their school day or when it's ending. When children have a safe place to go and they are well fed and cared for, it dramatically increases their confidence and capability during school hours. A program logic model was completed and included in this presentation to show the barriers, assumptions, activities, and outcomes, both immediate and long-term, that would be desired upon the completion of this intervention. This model was important when developing the intervention because, as Kellogg stated, effective program evaluation does more than collect, analyze, and provide data. It makes it possible for you, program stakeholders, to gather and use information to learn continually about and improve programs that you operate in and fund. When developing the work plan for the desired intervention, it became apparent how complex the program would truly be. Being required to write down in depth the different steps that it would take to lay the basis of the program and its needs was very eye-opening. Another objective might have been beneficial to include as the goal is all-encompassing and complex. As the reader will see in the work plan included below, the goal for the program will include at least 4, if not more, main activities that are needed to be accomplished before the intervention cannot get off the ground. Being required to complete a work plan was essential when understanding how complex this intervention is. The plan for evaluating the success of the intervention will be determined after each monthly polling activity. After each completed month, a social work student involved in the program will ask students, parents, and faculty about how they feel the program is negatively or positively affecting the students and their families. Gathering data over time will show changes as the program grows and matures. The social work student who founded the program would be best to ask questions as they understand the program most thoroughly and could directly address any concerns or questions the participants have. Monitoring the program will be extremely important and will be completed every Friday. The volunteers who worked during the week will be asked to attend a short meeting to discuss any shortcomings or concerns they found during the week. The founders of the program will find ways over the weekend to correct any issues and implement them the following week. Dissemination will be extremely important for the success of this program. The results of the intervention will be included on the Hilliard School District website, as well as in their monthly web blast that is sent via email to all parents in the district. If students and families can see that additional programming can work in one school, they might be tempted to raise their voices and ask for it in all of their elementary schools. Projecting the mission of the program and encouraging people to speak up for their needs will have a great impact on this district and those they serve. On the last 2 slides, you will find all of the references used in preparation for this presentation. Thank you for listening.